Hey guys, so I'm just gonna go over what I've learned about the dragon, fighting the dragon in Clan War. So this is my form I use. I'm not in a big clan or anything like that, so I don't have access to all that information and testing that everyone else is probably doing at the top, but I like to figure things out on my own. And yeah, what I figured out is obviously the back trick. It's the best form to use against the dragon because it gets targeting all your stuff at the back there and leaving your main troops alone. As long as you've got, I would say you need at least one high level Goddess of War, level 6 ideally. And they can just keep him hitting at the back there and not touching your main damage dealers. So I'm usually good for about 33 million. I think that's 33 million. Yeah. So if you look at the damage taken, no troops have taken damage apart from the 8 troops that go to the back line. And then it becomes about what 8 troops can you send back to the back line to not only tank the damage but also deal damage. And obviously these fucking light seekers are ideal because they heal themselves and they do damage. So I find that if you put tanks here, they can't do as much damage as a light seeker can. And it's just about whether you can keep the light seekers alive. If I don't use this tree guy, I'll show you what happens. People say, healing's bad for this. You'll lose extra morale and whatnot. But yeah, you also do way less damage. So I'll put in another Goddess of War. So they can heal themselves, but without that tree guy, they actually can't out heal the damage being done by the dragon. These ones can potentially heal themselves because they're being shielded until the Goddess of Wars, move out of the way, and then they're not shielded anymore. So have I taken more damage than last time? Maybe less than I did before. And I've done about 1 million less damage, which makes sense. So damage taken. No, we've actually probably taken more damage. And we've also lost all those troops there. So that healer there, I put him there. I find that's the best spot. You can also use the tree man. So it was around 40,000 damage or something. 400,000. Generally one healer will keep them alive, at least the high level ones. I'm not sure about the level 4s or not. I just lost one, I think. Yeah, I lost one. Damage taken. So yeah, I do find the other guy, Woodland Guardians, Woodland, whatever the fuck they are, wizards or some shit. That the non-mythical troop is arguably a better healer than this guy is. So we'll go back to the damage there. We did 33 million again. Same sort of damage taken. So obviously you can use tanks back here. These things here, flame duelists, can usually tank by themselves if you've got a high level one. Obviously we've lost our healer, so we probably aren't gonna keep all those alive. So less damage, 32,000, 32 million. And the level 7 flame duelist only does 200k. Compare that to, say, even the level 5 Lightseeker does more damage. But yeah, if you're struggling to, because I use 1.6 and 1.5 Goddess of War just so that the 5 will go here and the 6 will end up jumping to the 5, and they'll end up staying in the middle, and they're more likely to protect more of the Goddess of Wars. I don't use any sort of melee here. No melee, nothing that's going to walk forward to it, because you want all your troops to stay back, because as soon as you put melee or even melee, let's just, oh, I don't want that to jump to, I don't want these to jump in the front here, so we might chuck a Radiant Warrior. So you'll see that Radiant Warrior is actually taking damage. It's because he's close to the tail, and the tail, wherever the tail is, there's a little bit of damage being done there. But you'll notice that all the troops back here aren't getting damaged. And yeah, that was a pretty low score. So that's why I don't use any melee in the front there. What did I have there? I had one of these. I find these, I found with oracles, 3 is more than enough. If you use 4, generally your damage will drop off. So you only need 3. 4, you'll actually end up losing damage because you're taking away a damage dealing troop or a buffing troop that doesn't actually do much damage by itself. These, on the other hand, I've got a level 5 in here. If I take the level 5 out, I'll actually do less damage with a damage dealer, just to show you that. Put this back how it was with the tree dude. That guy. So, well, it was around 33 million. So 33 million with this. So we'll take it out and we'll put in something that does damage. Say another one of those things. So their skill stacks up to 3 times. At level 6 it does anyway. So adding more, you'd think it wouldn't matter, but it does, because it stacks up to 3 times, but like the troops over here aren't getting stacked 3 times because this one's too far away from that group of troops. So you'll see there 31.9 million. So adding a damage dealer, actually doing less damage than adding a buffer. So it's about finding a balance, and the balance I've found is, if I had more of these, I'd like to test it out, and obviously you need the Ripple Wizards to actually increase the amount of buffing that these do. So yeah, these I've also tried playing around with not having these two dragons in, and the same issue happens. Without them both in there, I don't do as much damage. And I'd like to have more Forest Scouts at level 9, because they do seem to do a lot more damage than even some mythical troops do, but I just can't bring myself to waste medals on adding more of those for a fucking stupid broken, game mode like fucking Clan Wars. So yeah, we're on target for around 33 million again. It's pretty consistent. At 33.5 million. So yeah, these Forest Scouts at level 9, they're pretty cheap to upgrade. And if you want to improve your clan build, you definitely want to get these, as many of those to level 9 as you want. They aren't much use anywhere else really. Maybe a few in the arena, but definitely against these bosses they're pretty good. And yeah, that's about it for the dragon. I'm going to do a spider video too, and that is just a fucking mystery to me. Alright guys, thanks for watching.